Yamanaki, up, up.
Oh, my apologies. I was wearing my mask because I just got back from a full day of being a good person. I love my mask because it's a simple yet effective way to display my righteousness. Am I concerned that 2 children in China dropped dead because they were forced to wear masks in gym class? Nope. Am I concerned that we're creating a generation of children who will be socially awkward and conditioned to fear their fellow man? No. Am I concerned that I'm contributing to an impending socialist technocracy that will enslave the global population? Not even a little bit. Am I concerned that my mask is symbolic of my compliance to the social conditioning that will eventually lead to the forced vaccination of every man, woman, and child on planet Earth? Not a chance. And why am I not concerned, you ask? I'm not concerned because I decided a long time ago that shallow, insignificant gestures are a much easier way to showcase my morality than actually being moral. Because in order to be a real good person, I gotta stand up to a real bad person. And I don't like standing up to or for anything. I've decided that it's much easier to trick my own mind into thinking compliance is a virtue instead of what compliance actually is. Cowardice. I prefer to float through life completely ignorant to the fact that every socialist takeover has always begun in the exact same way, with government overreach, public shaming, censorship, and a toilet paper shortage. Don't believe me? Google toilet paper shortage in communist Russia. Did you think you were having a unique experience? I prefer to pretend history never repeats itself so that I can stand by and turn a blind eye every time history repeats itself. I prefer to call anyone who speaks up, fights back, or stands their ground a lunatic or a conspiracy theorist so that I don't feel obligated to do my own research. Research takes away from me time. And lastly, I prefer to put on my mask and stand among a sea of masks so that I never have to be seen, be free, or reveal the deep dark shadows that lurk within me.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is in dismay as our illusionary government process has broken down even further. We have reached a point where even in a Senate hearing, the opposing side has now gotten up and left. Never has the reasons and excuses been blatantly brought forth to set the stage for a complete and destructive end to our current version of our civilization. That's from the peanut gallery. He's usually pretty upbeat. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure, thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet, or probably dead from the virus. For those of you listening to this on YouTube and you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, and yeah, Caroline, if it is not August 4th, 2020, then you are listening to a rerun. Poem of the day goes something like this. This was written for Karen by a listener.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know, right? There are many Karens on the ball. They're sad and petty with no brains at all. But our Flat Earth Karen is not sad or petty, but has the biggest balls of all. There are many a Karen to be found. Their stupidity will dazzle and astound. But we speak of our Karen, who's lethal and sassy with equal abound. You can keep your Karen and we will keep ours because as you wait for a manager, we will be checking out the bars. Your Karen's life is sad and a bummer, but our Karen's life is happy and her days filled with a touch of summer.
Oh,
I know, right? How's that for fun?
yeah, I love that. I actually have heard that. The person who wrote that sent that to me couple weeks ago. I love that poem.
Oh, well, it's even better that you got it first. So you know, so I don't have to give the person's name.
No.
Okay.
No,
Cool.
it's Hyperborean is what his name was on YouTube, or what is it now? Spherical World.
Spherical World. I'm supposed to do a plug for the channel. On YouTube, it's Spherical World.
Spherical World. Yes.
Spherical World. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course, my co-host, who is lovely, sometimes sassy, and always lethal. Well, hopefully not to her boyfriend. And that's Karen. Hi, Karen. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
You know, about as well as can be expected. I spent a good chunk of the day watching the explosion in Beirut over and over and over. Because as you know, it started out as a fire, and so there was tons and tons and tons of cell phones already, recording this damn thing. And then that secondary blast kicked in, and it's like, wow. And yet it still didn't make the top of the charts in terms of the news. Everyone was covering other stuff, but whatever. Hey, Karen, do you know what the most interesting app in the world is right now?
What is it?
I'll tell you. It's the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. They'll probably survive. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. There you go.
Awesome.
I'm gonna come up with bigger things, but David shouldn't be too upset at Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole because I'm using his anti-gravity cat as my show intro for the YouTube videos now.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
That's very clever editing, by the way. All he did was run it backwards and use a little forward audio. That's all he did. Brilliant. Yep. And makes it look like an anti-gravity cat.
Yes, it does.
And he's probably the only person with a cat named Naki, Anunnaki.
That's right. That goes to show the dedication of David Weiss, though.
I
He
know.
was so hardcore into space, he named his cat Anunnaki.
True. Yeah, absolutely.
A diehard flat earther.
Yep, straight. I had a quick little email that somebody sent me that I want to mention. And then we'll get into the rant. The email says, "Hey, Mark, I really appreciate your honest outlook on life. And I came across another pop culture reference for your trust everyone mantra. You can quote Donald Sutherland from the movie The Italian Job when he said, 'Trust everyone, just don't trust the devil inside them.' Anywho, I listen to your Strange World podcast often, and hearing everyone talk about the shutdown from around the U.S. has been really helpful to know the state of things. I'm just waiting for people to start announcing that they are moving to South Dakota, where common sense seems to prevail. So thanks for keeping it flat. If you read this on air, please say hi to Karen, smiley face. Love the fact that she is so, there's a lot of O's there, opposite of the Karen stereotype. Rock on, insert air guitar." And he has a quote, "A scoffer seeks wisdom and does not find it, but knowledge is easy to him who understands." And that's from a guy named Jason. So I'm supposed to say hi from Jason to you.
Thanks, Jason.
There you go. All right, Karen, do you got a drink? Because I've got something to say.
I do.
Somebody go to the second chat channel, by the way.
Before you continue, though, I was corrected by David. He actually has 3 cats that he named. 3 cats that he named after space things: Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, and Nephilim.
Wow. Hey, Karen, can you turn off your bloopy bloop in your Skype? Your Skype sounds.
Okay.
I don't know why it keeps resetting. And thank you, David, for clarifying. Also lets me know that he's listening from time to time. Probably to see if I'm getting the advertising straight. From like trashing the app. Oh, that crappy app. Nobody should ever get, it
App.
totally gives you COVID. All right, you ready?
All right.
Okay. This is going to be part of a series that I'm doing. Right now, I've got all my initial rants out of the way, and now I'm doing something called "In Case You Missed It" 2020. Going over the headlines, I'm scanning the headlines as much as I can and finding stories. Well, you'll get it. So this rant is called "In Case You Missed It" 2020 Part 1. In case you missed it, things are still happening in the United States and everywhere else. Some of these things may not seem like much at first glance, but I can assure you there will be ripples and potential shockwaves to follow. I look through the headlines every day and see what sticks out to me. Sometimes it's just interesting or annoying facts. Other times it's foreshadowing of things to come. From now until our civilization reaches the other side of this bizarre tunnel that we are currently in, I'll be compiling and reporting on some of these informational nuggets. Hopefully, they will give you something to think about in the weeks and months to come. There was another wave of recent protests in select cities in different parts of the U.S. During one of these in Austin, Texas, a protester armed with an AK-47 approached a right-wing car that was slowly but surely pushing through the crowd. The protesters, as you know, are not fans of cars anywhere near them. Words were quickly exchanged, and then at some point, the armed protester fired 5 AK rounds at near point-blank range at the car. All missed. Not the car, the target. The driver then responded seconds later with 3 shots to the chest. Police and medics came, but the protester ended up dying in the street in front of the crowd. Watching the video was surreal because I realized something very different between the left and the right. When things get too real or too violent, the left tends to fold. There were hundreds of protesters surrounding the scene, but at no time did they choose to cross the police tape and exact mob justice. Try to explain it all you want, but if there was a right-wing protest, that car would have been turned into Swiss cheese. There was a group of frontline doctors who went to Capitol Hill to give their take on the pandemic as we know it, stating that the hysteria wasn't warranted and there were cheap and available preventive methods and treatments. Most of you already realized that. What was interesting was that once the president endorsed this group, it was immediately condemned as fake science if it was covered at all. You see, the press conference was nothing of the sort. No mainstream media groups even attended the event. It's not part of the narrative. Mainstream has no interest in a simple cure. There are no ratings in it. If you want to hear more, just type in frontline doctors into any search engine. Eventually, you'll get to them. Google has announced that it will encourage workers to work from home. Nothing new there, except that they are already pushing it to July of 2021. It's apparent that some at the higher levels know what's coming. Other companies are sure to follow because we are a nation of copycats and clones. If an idea works for one group, others will latch on to it because, well, again, people are lazy. No need to reinvent the wheel. This brings me to schools reopening right now. Most of our educational groups are, as you know, built on the opposite of social distancing. There are now dozens of large teachers' unions across the country who are suing the states because the older teachers are fully convinced that the now germ-infested but apparently immune children will infect them with the virus. The short version is that the teachers don't want to go back to school because they think they will die. Strange world indeed. To create a new educational system based on fear is near to impossible. We don't have the time, the money, or the direction to pull it off. Schooling is inevitable, however. So once the first counties came up with the plan, many others simply copied their blueprints and moved forward, including the ones just down the road from me. Right out of the gate, you start to see huge problems with how they are all reopening. Students only have the option of going to school 2 days a week, either Monday and Thursday or Tuesday and Friday. Wednesday, the school is literally closed for deep cleaning. I say optional because if you have the right hardware and software, you don't have to attend at all. You can just take classes from home. You see, they don't want you there and are creating so much negative reinforcement that many will just stay home and phone it in. If you do go, many schools require the students to wear masks full time. Some even encourage the parents to have their children start wearing masks at home so they can get used to the procedure. Look up some of the promotional videos being put out by the schools for the parents. It's like watching an android factory. Whatever your school experience was like years ago, remember it fondly, because what's out there now is an abomination. Speaking of fond memories, remember Disneyland? Yeah, that's still not open. But Disney World is. That's in Florida. They tried to open, and wouldn't you know it, the people found a way to have more fun than was allowed. You see, currently you can't eat and wear a mask at the same time. It's impossible. Disney World, like other theme parks and fairgrounds, were built so that people could buy food and walk around with it. You know, ice cream, cotton candy, oversized lollipops, etc. Armed with all these tasty treats, families at Disney World just walked around and ate and drank without the masks, and that simply would not do. So Disney made a park change stating that you could only eat while sitting in designated areas. They then raised the stakes by creating new mask requirements. No neck gaiters, no scarves, no bandanas, no masks with vents of any kind, only industrial use masks allowed, and anyone over the age of 2 are required to wear them. How can this be the happiest place on earth if no one can see you smile? Professional sports is not only failing to adapt, they are showing their true colors, so to speak. I don't know if I have the right words for the situation, so consider this. The NBA is still trying to salvage their season and are playing the remaining games very late without arenas or fans. No real surprises there. But what did catch my eye is that while only a few players in American football took a knee to protest inequality, over 90% of the basketball players took that same knee. But that wasn't even the strangest thing in this virus-riddled sports world. When the WNBA, women's basketball, took the court and the national anthem started to play, they all walked off the court and stayed in the locker room until the song ended. And they are going to keep doing this until the season ends. So the American flag is now fair game. Would that many basketball players have turned their back on it if there were thousands of fans in the arena creating peer pressure? I doubt it. But we will probably never know, at least until the vaccine is released. But that part of the story is still unfolding and will be discussed more deeply as we move forward. This week, the sports world does have one more little side road into uncharted territory, that being the new quarantine cruelty. Baseball has the least chance of physical contact. Most of the time, players are standing with yards and yards of open grass around them. Yet, the players are still tested before every game, and if they test positive, even if they are showing no symptoms, they are banned from playing for 2 weeks. If a team has enough players test positive in one day, they may have to forfeit the game. And then there are the players' unions that have made it clear that players who don't feel safe can opt out because, as you know, most of the people in the world believe the entire narrative hook, line, and sinker. That's a fishing term. Last but not least, I have to reassure people that you're not crazy if you are thinking there is a coin shortage. It's nationwide, but the media isn't giving it much attention. More and more stores are posting handmade signs saying that if you don't have the exact change, you will have to pay with a card. It's why I now carry 99 cents in my pocket when I go out, because I will always have exact change. Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A, who do a lot of cash business, recently took it to a new level by offering free meals to people who pay entirely with coins. If you are looking for grub on the cheap, grab your piggy banks and head down. From what I've read, you basically get your meal and then a certificate for another meal free. Could this be the final push towards a cashless society where all financial transactions are monitored at an almost microscopic level? It's possible. I'll let you know more as it starts to come into focus. We close this out by noting that all these things are part of a plan that have been in motion for a long time. As we move into the next stages, know that you are still an individual, still able to think for yourself and make choices of your own. There is still hope. Remember that it always seems darkest just before the dawn, and that you are never, nor will you ever, Be alone. This rant, of course, sponsored by the letters WT and F. There we go. And Peanut Gallery chimes in and says, mention the 6-year-old dying of COVID. Oh, right. So, post, well, hang on. I got to find the article real fast for it. Karen, have you heard this one?
No.
Okay. So, it's on Fox News. And the reason why it's notable is it's Fox News. So, the headline literally reads, you know how everything in the media is hype, 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 hype. Right. You try to hype up anything. Mm-hmm. And the headline reads, Nebraska boy 6 dies after diagnosed with coronavirus. Report. Right. He's potentially the first child to die from the virus in Douglas County, Nebraska. However, the first line of this thing, literally the first line of this article, thank you, Peanut Gallery, by the way, for pasting that, says this. A 6-year-old Nebraska boy who's been battling the coronavirus and previously received a triple organ transplant has died, according to a report on Monday. That's all you could basically stop reading after that. I got news for you, folks. If you don't know much in the world of medical procedures, having one organ transplant is never good. Having 3, you could be a triathlon winner. You would have a hard time making it through. I mean, it's not a guarantee. So, but again, Fox is I don't know why, but they have caved in, and now they are pushing they're pushing the narrative. They held out for a while, but not anymore.
Why'd they cave in?
To what?
Why'd they cave in?
Because they're mainstream media. In the end, they're still media. Yeah, they're on the right, but that doesn't mean that they're part of the conspiracy crowd. You know, they lean right, but they are owned by a parent company that is owned by another company. I don't know who owns 20th Century Fox or Fox News, but they've got to push it, and they weren't pushing this for a long time. Now they'll still probably hold their ground when it comes to the election. But when it comes to the virus, the ratings, they've got people, the rest of the mainstream media has got everyone so hyped up that they're looking for the stories. They've got to get their fix of the virus porn, as it were. And so Fox is just going in. I mean, there's not a lot of stories, but that one's just ridiculous. Seriously? You're not going to mention that he had triple organ transplants? You don't want to mention that, but at least they put it in the first line of the article. Thank God. Anyway, sorry, I'm deleting the email from the person that said hi to you. Phone number to call in tonight is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Peanut says, give out the UK number. Really? All right, fine. The UK number is 44203-393-2871. And I don't think the listen-only number is right. The listen-only number is supposedly 641-793-7117, but I don't know anyone that actually calls that. Everyone just calls the main line. And yes, I see all the calls coming in from Florida, Colorado, South Kakalaki, California, Canada, so on and so on. Yeah, we're not going to take calls quite yet. Wait, why is Peanut complaining? 5 minutes. Okay.
What's going on?
I don't know. What are you complaining about? He seems agitated. Something about the Senate, I think. Should we take a call before the break? You want to take one?
Okay.
What the hell? Why not?
Why
Let's
not?
see. Yeah, let's pick up. Yes, says our producer, Peanut. 813. We're gonna take the rare call before the first break. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Have a good evening. How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, just making my weekly check-in with you and making sure everybody's still above water.
For
Everything
now,
going okay?
Hey, there's gas still at the pumps. There's food still in the stores. And as far as I know, there aren't any masked police that are roaming the streets in most of the country. So, how are things in your area?
Well, things are seemingly the same as before. I got to tell you, the slow burn is starting to feel it. It's the stories are starting to unfold more and more, and everyone is going in the opposite direction, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's very little logic in what's happening, and I want to tell you, we're so focused on the narrative that we forget the big picture. The whole reason that I'm even involved in participating and listening is because of the flat earth movement, and because of the fact that nothing is ever what we believe it to be. And I got to tell you guys, on the whole, I really, really appreciate you guys having the guts to stick it out there and listen. I listen to Karen and Brian a lot, and
Cool.
Wow, that's pretty intense stuff. And I appreciate you so much, Mark. I got to tell you,
yeah,
I'm going to not cut you off, but I just want to say this real quick. I'm really looking forward to the near future when we guys can shake hands and not wear a mask and maybe have a get together. That would be awesome.
I agree. I'm hoping that day will come. We'll have to see, how this all unfolds. Tough to say right now. I wouldn't bet on it yet, because as you know, the whole next stage is about taking off the mask but replacing it with something else, and they're being really careful about not mentioning that yet. They haven't. You've heard me talk about in other rants. They've talked about the vaccines, the companies that are going to push it. They're already saying they already got stuff out there that's 90% effective. I fully prepared, that they're going to come out with something they're going to say it's 99% effective, which doesn't make any sense. But it's the tracking system that goes with it, because without that, it doesn't, all this is for naught. All this doesn't make any sense, because if you release a vaccine just without any proof of vaccination, everyone's just going to lie through their teeth. So that's my, that's the next thing I'm really, really focusing on.
Guys, I just want to tell you, really appreciate you being there and doing what you do. And Karen, you're all over the place. And I really want to tell you, I like what you say. I like what you do. The DMSO has been awesome. I've really been studying it. My family members are taking stands, and they're paying the price for it. We'll talk about this in the later date. It's a little bit too soon for that right now, and it's very, very tough. But I just want you to know that things they're turning up the heat. Things are ramping up slowly.
Yeah.
And the next 6 months from now is going to be interesting.
Damn straight it is. Thank you. By the way, we're going to music in 5 seconds. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for being supportive.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have a good week.
All right. You too.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Back in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere unless you have to. Nap and break. Refresh your drink. Get your smoke on. I don't know.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are DFR, your protection from deception.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's you, me, and Karen B. And Peanut Gallery says, and yes, he says this in all caps. And yes, that was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album, Night and Day. Hey, Karen, I heard a rumor that the main guy from Globebusters, or at least one of the half of the team, is down in your neck of the woods now. Bob, is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. They just got into town tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
So are they excited?
They are. They said they're really enjoying they're not at their permanent place. They're renting a place until they can find their permanent home, but they said they love it. They got this place in the country, over by the equestrian center. And so they said they really like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. I am thrilled. I am sure they will have loads and loads of. How far are they away from you?
It's about 45 minutes from my house. That's not bad at all. But yeah, North Carolina just got 4 new flat earthers.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Adds to many that are already there, I'm sure.
That's right.
Let's go out to the phone lines. Have a few in there. Let's go to 970. 970. It's you, me, and Karen B. What's happening? Maybe in Colorado.
Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, man. My name's Jerry. I'm from Western Colorado. And I was woken up to the truth about a year ago from this crazy guy that I work with, who I thought was just absolutely bonkers until he showed me a video of Buzz Aldrin telling a young girl that we couldn't go back to the moon because you can't go back to places you've never been.
I remember that video. That was a really weird little, and we wouldn't have gotten that except the father was one of those people. You know, the teenage beauty pageants where you're trying to get them into media as young as humanly possible. And so this father had his little girl go around and interview different celebrities. And oh my God, it was like shooting ducks in a barrel because, you know, you're not going to say no to a tiny girl with a microphone. And so, yeah, it's brilliant. Right. It was a brilliant little interview. And I don't think he even knew what he had when he put the clip online.
Yeah, it was gold. Absolutely. So that's what woke me up, man. And ever since then, every Tuesday night, I listen to your show.
Oh, nice.
I've gone through a lot of the stuff on your YouTube channel. Absolutely love you. Thanks for helping wake people up, man.
Oh, very
one of the bad
welcome.
things about living in Colorado.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, man.
No, go ahead.
One of the bad things about living in Colorado is our governor is fucking crazy.
Okay.
He's absolutely bonkers. He has mandated this mask wearing law that was signed into effect in late July. Was supposed to last for 30 days. I think they've got another week or two left on that. We'll see if they extend it.
Yeah.
But up until then, I hadn't put anything over my face, any public place at all. But now it seems like, you know, you can't go into a gas buy a burrito without a mask on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. The weirdest, again, because, and it was something I predicted way back when I said, wow, when I heard that they were going to let the governors and then the mayors underneath them just kind of make it up as they went along, it's like, oh my God, the consistency is going to be all over the board. And to where, depending on what state you are, not even what state, what county, what town, you could run into all sorts of stuff. Like there's some like gas stations, you know, like when you walk in, it's like $20 on 5. They want you in a freaking mask and 6 foot distancing, even though there's plexiglass. There was a story, and I didn't talk about this during my thing, where there was a fast food restaurant. I can't remember if it was a Jack in the Box or Burger King, where the girl, it's all drive-through, and the girl who was running the drive-through, she said, "Oh no, I can't hand you the food to your car unless you're wearing a mask." And the guy, we're getting to the stage now, you know, where people are snapping. They're freaking losing it. And so he said, okay, fine. And he pulls off. He gets out of the car and he walks up to the drive-through window and just starts beating the crap out of her. Because it's like, you know, I don't know if he took the food and left. I don't know if they caught him, but he was having none of that. I mean, it got to the point where it's like, I don't care if you're an employee or not. If you're going to follow that line of stupidity, yeah, Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Peanut Gallery just sent me a thing. McDonald's, no mask, no service at the drive-thru at McDonald's. Is that true? Is that new?
Yeah.
At the drive-thru, San
No.
Francisco.
Yeah.
Is this real? McDonald's employee in Oakland. Oh, yeah. No, this was it. Yeah, sorry. It was McDonald's. Yeah.
Yep.
It was a McDonald's employee in Oakland when, quote unquote, in Oakland said she was grabbed, hit, and slapped by a customer after
she told him he had to wear a face mask in order to receive his order.
Yep. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's just
it's all
these
all
over
guys
the
are going
place.
crazy, man. This thing is nuts, and I'm 100% with you. The vaccine is next.
Yeah, the vaccine's next. They've doubled and tripled down. We've only got September, October. We only a couple more months to the election. They might introduce, a little bit more stimulus money, and then it's a freaking free for all. Election night, between the election night and the vaccine that follows, it's going to be a freaking 3-ring circus. Get your popcorn ready.
It is crazy.
Get a nice comfy seat in front of your TV and just have your channels programmed where you can just flip through the networks, because it's going to be chaos.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, Mark, I really appreciate everything you do, my friend. Karen, thanks for riding with this guy. Somebody's got to, right?
That's what
Thanks, man.
Hey, shout out to Zulu. And actually, I just finished Eric DeBay's book, so shout out to Eric DeBay as well.
Cool. All right.
Thank you,
All right,
friend.
hey, you have a good one, and I will put you on mute because I don't like hanging up on people, and I only hang up on trolls, and it's amazing how little trolls we have. So anyway, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Okay. I've got to mention that too. Don't you think it's? I mean, do you guys take calls every once in a while with the other stuff you do, Karen?
Yeah, almost every show we take calls.
And do you get many trolls?
Sometimes, yeah.
We hardly ever get trolls here. Very rarely.
Here, yeah, because people don't want to wait. I think the trolls are impatient.
That could be it. That could be it. I mean, I can see their number and their name and stuff like that, and but I can't remember the last time I had to write down or remember a name. In fact, you know who it was? It was oh man, it was the Osmond guy out of Colorado. Remember him?
Yes.
Yeah, remember that guy? What's happened to him? Yeah, Timmy Osmond.
He's obsolete now.
Yeah. What happened to him?
From the get-go, but now it's just like nobody cares.
Yeah, well, I didn't care after, because he said he was going to come to the Raleigh conference back at the end of 2017, and he didn't. Yeah. And then after that, even though he said he was going to come and then make everybody, we were convinced he was going to come because he lived there. Oh, no. The big one, no, that's when I gave up on him, was Denver, because he lived there. He was literally right there.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't come.
No.
So, whatever.
Who cares?
The what?
I think he finally got tired. I mean, none of us have given up, and none of us are going to give up because they got nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's easy to stand your ground when you have the truth on your side. So maybe he's bored. I don't know. Maybe he's trolling some other group. Maybe he's trolling the fake space or the secret space program people.
Right.
Or the UFO alien people.
Very, very possible. Let's go to South Kakalaki. Let's do 843. 843, it's you, me, and Karen B. Could be a local girl down there. You could be Karen's neighbor. I don't know. What's happening?
Karen.
Oh,
Vinny.
God.
Oh, it's me. Free flow.
Hey, what's up, Free Flow?
What's happening, Karen? Good to hear from you. I got a couple of things real quick. I'm not going to take up too much time, but Mark, you remember the Twilight Zone, right?
I actually have the entire collection on this computer.
Okay. Do you remember the episode where this guy could see into people? He had like X-ray vision, right? He could see diseases and cancers in people, right?
Vaguely. It's not one of the higher rated ones, but I'll say yes, sure.
No. And he could see, this just came to me tonight. I'm like, oh my God, I remember that episode. And he could see like cancers and diseases in people, and they still felt fine. So they ignored him, right? He's like, you need to go see a doctor. You have cancer, right? You have a disease, you have this and that. And people would be like, yeah, okay, whatever. No, and they would ignore him. And he would get so frustrated, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel.
Because you should be tested. You should need to go to a doctor. By the way, that's a part of an old saying, which probably where Rod Serling got the idea, which is, I didn't know I was sick until I went to the doctor's office. You know, I mean, how many times it's very similar to the auto mechanic thing. Car seems fine. You bring it in for a routine checkup at the auto body or whatever oil change place, and they hit you up, which is why, again, the running joke, never ever take your place to a dealership if the car's running fine, because it's like, oh, I have a 50,000 mile checkup. No, it's about a $2,000 do whatever the hell we want checkup. That's what it is.
It just amazed me. But with that episode, it's like, you're trying to tell people, you have an issue. I can see it, and you don't want to listen to it, you know? And it's sad. It really is sad. And it's bothering, really. And the other thing is,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Karen.
You're good.
No, Karen, go.
I didn't say anything.
No? Oh, I thought you were saying something. I'm sorry. The other thing is, too, my brother called me the other day. He's in Massachusetts, right? And he called me and we were talking. He's like, how's the mask situation up in South Carolina? I go, everyone's wearing a mask. 98% of the people in every store are wearing a mask.
Yep.
And he goes, oh, well. I go, but I'm not. I'll go into a store and I'm not going to wear a mask. I've got kicked out of 2 stores in the last, 2 months, not wearing a mask, right?
Yeah.
And Home Depot, Lowe's, everything, they let you in. They don't say nothing, right? And I had a guy come up to me in Home Depot, and he's wearing a mask. He goes, excuse me, can I ask you a question? I go, yeah. He goes, how did you get in here without a mask? I go, I just walked in. They didn't say nothing to you? I go, no. And he pulled his mask down, took it off, put it in his pocket. He goes, thank you. And he walked away.
Well, yeah. And in fact, Richie from Boston, who's been doing a ton of work since this whole thing started, he's one of the first, he talks to a lot of people. And what's amazing to him is he runs into so many people that absolutely don't believe it. But once he's done with them, they put their masks back on and they go about their, and he's asking why they're wearing the mask. It's like, well, it's less hassle. They don't want to stand out. They don't want to, it's easier, you don't want to, if you don't want to draw attention to yourself, you blend in that way. And
it's easier to conform.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's easier to conform.
Absolutely.
The other thing real quick is, so my brother was calling me, asking me about the mask situation, right?
Yeah.
So I said, I don't wear a mask, and I could hear his fiance for 20 years, whatever. That's a whole nother story, right? Yeah. But his fiance says, why don't you wear a mask? I go, because I'm not going to wear a mask. Well, why? I go, because it's stupid. And she's like arguing with me. We're arguing back and forth a little bit. And she's like, well, why don't you tell that to the 160,000 people that have died from this? I work in a hospital. Well, I work in a doctor's office, right? She's a receptionist, right? She takes money and takes phone calls. That's all she does, right? She knows nothing, right? And it's like, what are you talking about? You have no idea. I said, have you looked into any of this? Of course I have. I go, well, okay.
Of course she did. She read all of the articles about it on CNN, and she read all of the Fox News articles, and she watched all the stuff on TV. Of course she researched it.
Yeah.
And she read all her documents to the doctor's office.
Yeah,
that's
my,
it.
my,
You know what I mean?
by the way, my rant next week will be about what you're talking about there, which is all these people are going to come up because that number is going to keep going up. They're going to keep pumping up that number. It'll be 200,000 before the end of the year, guaranteed. And and what I'm trying to tell people is like, yeah, fine. We'll just say 200,000, right? Even though it's 160. And they keep forgetting again because when we're going through school, we're taught nothing about microbiology, which is that number is not what you sold us in the beginning. The reason why the country locked down is you said there was going to be a 1% death rate, which means 3.5 million people, that's 1% of the country, should have died, right? It's 7 months. Did we get 3.5 million? No. Did we get 3? Did we get 2? Did we get 1? Did we even get 500,000? No, nope. We didn't. We haven't even broken 200,000 in 7 months. That's nothing. The numbers aren't high enough to warrant the hysteria. Plain and simple. But to your point, there are droves of people out there, and I'm going to be reading part of an article that was on Russia Today. Whereas if you go, this is the scary part, where there's an article in Russia Today that came out a couple days ago, but we didn't want to talk about this week, where if you ask the average person on the street, there's a lot of people that are saying, oh, no, it's not 160,000. It's 300. It's 500. It's the grapevine. And no, we've got 20 million cases. People are quoting numbers that are way beyond even what mainstream's telling them. Because
don't mean sick people.
The what?
Cases don't mean sick people.
Damn straight they don't. And I'm tired of hearing that. It's like, oh, there's so many more cases. Like, oh, fine. I will use the same quote I did last month and the month before that, and when I first heard it, which was, anyone listening to this, you go to your cell phone, you look at your contact list. Have you had to delete anyone from that list because they died of the virus? I highly doubt it. If you have, please email me. I would love to hear about this person.
And that's the other thing I talked to my, supposedly sister-in-law, who's been his fiance for 20 years. I said, how many people, when she came up with, well, why don't you tell that to 160,000 people have died from this? I said, how many of those people were over the age of 70 and had underlying conditions? And you know what she said to me? None of them. Went,
I've got the numbers on that. It's the exact opposite. It's almost all of them. I won't quote the numbers during this show, but I'm going to dazzle people with numbers next week. It's staggering.
But this is the mainstream. This is what they're thinking. This is what they're thinking.
Yeah. It's like, fine, where are they? Where are these 160,000 people? I did a complete rant on this. And it's like, look, find me a healthy person that was walking down the street. They caught it, and 2 weeks later, they were gone with no underlying conditions. Find me. There should be droves of those people, and they're not. And that is why, by the way, why there's so many Americans that aren't scared, that are going along with the mask. But, as soon as nobody's looking, the mask is gone. And I made it very, very clear. I said, look, the reason why people aren't going to take it seriously until you scare them. And the only way you can scare them is with actual people that are in the morgue. And that's not it happening. Anyway, what else?
So frustrating. So frustrating. I got one other thing real quick. Karen,
Yes.
Bob's down here now, Bob and Canning and Zach. We're having a get together at the flea market, I think on the 23rd, I'm pretty sure. So we would love for you guys to come down.
Okay, if I can make it, I certainly will. Also, I am having a get together at my house for Bob and Cammie in a couple of weeks, and I've got some people coming. So if you want to attend that, you can. It's going to be around the new moon, not right on the new moon, but it'll be right before that. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, we're in that group text. So, I mean, I don't know how close you want it to go, but keep me informed. You got my number.
Okay, I'll be in touch.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to attend that. I met Bob and Cammie, and me and Cammie had a great time at Plateauberfest. We got along great, and Bob was busy, obviously.
Yeah.
But, yep. And me and Zach, we hung out most of the night. So I'd love to hang out with them and you guys. So.
All right, man. Good. Hey.
All right. Good one. You guys have a great night, and you guys rock.
Thank you. You too.
Love you guys. Have a good night.
All right. I can't actually. I mean, Karen rocks. I mean, she's got that whole cool tattoo thing. I'm kind of a big dork. So, but that's fine. You can say I rock. I'll take it. Let's pick up one more before the break. Karen does rocks. No, we're not talking about crack rocks. This is somewhat of a family show. By the way, to all those who are doing the drugs, remember, the little rocks work just as well as the big rock. You don't have to take the big rocks and jam them into the pipe. Just saying. Okay, let's do 604. 604 up in Canada. It's you, me, and Karen B. What is happening?
Oh, hi. I didn't know you get through, so I'm up.
Oh, no. If you're calling from Canada, I'm absolutely picking you up.
What's going on?
Okay. Well, I've talked to you before. I wanted to mention that I asked my phone how many satellites are in orbit, and at the time it said 2,666.
Wow, that's a lot. Oh, 2,666? Nice.
Yeah, which I thought that was... Yeah, and then another thing I asked it is why don't planes fly over the Pacific Ocean, and it says because the curved route is shorter than the straight route. I couldn't believe that one either.
Yeah.
Ask your phone.
Yeah.
Ask your phone. I'm not kidding.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
I'm sure that's even changed a couple times over the years. They keep changing it. It keeps coming up with weird stuff for answers.
Yeah, I just had a debate with my stepdaughter about the flat Earth. Of course, she's not a flat Earther, but we got into it. So.
How did it go?
Yeah. Not well.
How old is your stepdaughter?
34. I'm 55. So.
Oh, you don't sound 65.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. But we got into all the conspiracy thing, and of course it's all about the edge, falling off the edge. And then I tried to tell her it's an ice wall, and there's other realms, an admiral bird, and it's land mass. And we got into all of that, and she says, "Well, you're just going on the internet. You know, how can you prove it? You can't prove it." And I told her about the cool moon theory. You know.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't know it. She didn't want to talk about it anymore.
Again,
she comes back and, huh?
Don't forget that you're not there to convince her. You're not there to persuade her. All you're there is to put the seed in her head, and you'll know if it had any effect, because she will or will not come back to you a week or two from now and say the standard. Well, what about this and what about this? If she starts doing that, then she's close at that point. That means it's already rattling around her brain, and it's going to be almost impossible to get rid of.
Yeah.
So. Cool.
Well, anyway, we're enjoying the woods, like I guess Karen does. We own the very first peony prize home, 1932, when they had pan abodes. Officially, the 34 home is on the books, but there's a legend. Well, actually, I got a news clipping from the Hope, BC. So we're sitting in the peony first one ever. It's just the size of a garage, so. And unfortunately, like Brian, I lost my dog last month. Hold on a second.
Sorry about
that. Sorry. My stepdaughter asking for her dad's coffee. Sorry. Anyway.
All right. We're going to our second break. Any shout outs?
To you and Karen B, and I guess to Mac up here, who's been going through a lot, and
Flat Earth Fokker.
He's not in jail, is he?
No.
Oh, that's good.
But he did lose his business. He lost his business.
Because of the virus?
Exactly. That's
huge. They shut him down.
It's terrible. That's why I didn't go, because I had a bad feeling that time. I felt so bad for him, and then made a mockery of him on the news and everything.
Yeah.
But I have to be careful, because I run another group up here, and I have to be very careful right up here. So.
Got it.
Anyway, it's nice in the woods. Anyway, I better get going. You guys got to go. So.
Yeah, we got to got to go to the music. So thank you,
Okay.
and I'll put
All
you on. I'll put you on hold.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye-bye. Phone number to call in for the third segment is... Wow, I sound like a horse race guy, didn't I? Phone number is 213-233-3998. It's 213-233. It's 3998.
Hey, by the way, before we go, there is a possibility that Flattoberfest 2020 could still happen, so everybody put positive thoughts up towards it.
Positive thoughts towards Flattoberfest.
We're looking at venues. We might find a place.
All right. Really? We'll be back.
His face is in the muck. I think his zipper's stuck.
Truth Frequency Radio is your number one.
You are now tuned into the Truth Frequency.
Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, and Karen B. We are taking calls. The lead story today, by the way, is 70 people died from COVID in Beirut, and 3,000 more tested positive. So there you go. What, too soon? By the way, I do agree. Now, you know, I've had several two different military guys, including Master Gunner, came to me and said, "Yeah, that blast looked really strange." And in fact, they asked me, it's like, what? Both of them asked me what I thought was strange about it. I go, "You mean the atmospheric effect when the condensation burst? You know, it was this big shock wave that came out And I had seen something like that similar back in 91 when a jet fuel factory in the middle of the desert in the United States, granted I'm old, I remember that thing from 91, blew up, but it was a jet fuel factory and the colored smoke. But this seemed like there was something there, but the secondary explosion didn't exactly seem like a industrial accident. So just to let everybody know. Okay, phone number to call in is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Let's jump straight. Oh, you know what? Before we even do that, Karen, did you get a chance? You know, I plugged a video into Funky Bunch recently by a young lady, and I couldn't find a YouTube channel on her, but she was on Twitter, I believe, and her name was Jordan Sather. She was going on a rant about masks. Did you happen to catch that? Or not? It was about 90 seconds long.
No, you know what? I didn't watch it yet.
That's all right.
And then somebody posted it on YouTube, and I was going to watch it because I recognized her from the video you posted, and then I got distracted, and I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, I'm going to put it at the intro to the YouTube version of Strange World. I didn't. I was like, watch this, and she just, you know, very, very quick editing. And it was great. It was kind of it was very, very sarcastic, but it was wonderful. And it was nice to see a young woman at least on the same page as us. Oh, refreshing. So good for you, Jordan, if you're listening, and don't throw a copyright strike. I don't think you can anyway, but we'll see. Where was I going with this? Phone. Yeah, let's go to California. 510. It's Yumi and Karen B. What is happening out there?
Oh man, I was up. My goal was to have been one of the first callers, but this birthday has just been a wonderful birthday, man.
That's right. It's Nathaniel's birthday today.
I had a whole spiel set up and everything, so look, check it out. 1982, my wonderful mother, she gave birth to me. But not only did she give birth to me, but she didn't give me up. No disrespect to anyone who maybe had that unfortunate situation, but for me, she kept me. And here I am, 38 years old, younger today, and my birthday has been fabulous. Why did I want to be one of the first callers? Because it's been a hashtag no negativity for me today. You know what I'm saying? And I know, your show is one of those platforms, as it should be, for people to be able to vent and whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I just want to sprinkle a little bit of light over this thing. Mark, it's been a wonderful birthday, man. It's been wonderful, man. And not even because it's, just my birthday, but I've been able to affect many, many lives right now, and people's lives financially are changing for the better. And I find nothing but joy in that, because if anybody who know me, I'm a selfless person, and I believe in people, and I get no greater joy than seeing, people being happy, being blessed, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, man, I'm just oozing all over this thing. And for whoever don't like it, hey, man, 2 peas in a bucket, deal with it, man. But I'm in the midst of this weird situation time that we're in, man. Yesterday and today has been truly wonderful, man. It's been truly wonderful.
Well, good. That is wonderful news, and you are a light in the shadowy world that we live in right now. So good for you, man. I couldn't be happier for you.
Most definitely appreciate it. Hey, how you do over there, sis?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic.
How's the family?
Man, I'm man. Everybody, health-wise, everybody is healthier than a whistle. I mean, normal stuff that we normally deal with. Not none of this all rhetoric. I mean, it just. I just have to say this. So on one half you say young folks can play baseball, but then you tell a younger group that they can't play baseball, and you got the race culture. Obviously it's around us, but nevertheless, man, I am super, super grateful, and I appreciate Mark saying what he said, because I'm glad that I'm able to be a light. And for anybody that knows me, man, I'm going to always give credit for my personal savior, who I deem as my savior, who has allowed me to be this inspiration to anybody who is looking for inspiration, and even to be some inspiration for those that didn't realize that they needed it and was able to be that. So, yeah, man, shout out to my big brother Zulu, man, because, hey, I said it before, I said it again, man. If he would have never put his Xbox gamer tag up into the chats, it's a strong possibility I wouldn't be knowing you individuals today. So, I always have to give him kudos. And to everybody else, in the community, I hate to miss names, but there's so many people, whether it's Karen, whether it's Mark, whether it's a whole group. But right now, like I said, I am super, super grateful. I am grateful to know you all, to consider you all to be my extended family. We have a beautiful, well-rounded group of individuals, and we know all, flat earthers. Some can be a little bit weirder than others, but I feel like our group is awesome, and we continuously check in on one another because we truly care about each other. And hey, man, however this thing turns up, whichever way it goes, I do know that there's allies in the fight, and I'm just gonna keep on holding up that banner. I'm gonna keep on holding up that Flat Earth banner. And Mark, you already know me. I'm gonna keep holding up that Bloodstained banner, because for those who don't know, man, I believe that he came, and that he came to set mankind free. And for anybody who is willing to just peek behind the curtain, see if there's any realness in it, hey, man, I say go ahead and do it. But that's all I got. I love you guys, man. I'm bubbly all over, man. Let's keep it flat. And yeah, man, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep this thing Costa Rica up underneath this dome, man, because he sees all. And hey, like you said, man, Earth is his footstool. So if it's his footstool, that means that he's in control of this thing, even though sometimes it may not seem like it. I holla. Put me back on mute. Love you.
Thanks, Nathaniel.
Awesome.
He's in a very good mood.
Yeah, it was great. That was great to hear him in such good spirits.
It is. I am jealous.
And I
All
have
right.
to say about Nathaniel, Nathaniel's first conspiracy, the first thing he ever woke up to was flat Earth. And I can't really say that about anybody else
That
that
is
I
rare.
know.
That's extremely rare. Yeah,
So
usually, yeah, you're right. Usually somebody's got something. I mean, even if it goes back to JFK or earlier, but that's awesome. That's good stuff.
yeah, man.
Let's stay out in California and let's do 530. 530, we haven't talked to you tonight, have we?
You have not. How are you guys doing? Sounds like you guys are doing good. Karen and Mark, it is William.
Hi, William. What's up?
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep it positive. That was awesome what Nathaniel said. I also believe about the Savior. It's good stuff.
Huh?
It's kind of fascinating. 38 years old is when actually God got a hold of me. And that's when my whole life changed at 38. See, that was 16 years ago. And Mark, I believe your video, cleverly masked as they're hiding God with the biggest lie ever,
and
I believe was my wake-up call.
Just so you know, that video, a lot of people don't remember this, but the biggest hits out there for my stuff were not on my channel. I didn't name them.
No,
I don't know who those guys are. They're still out there today, and I even put it in my odds and ends folder, just so I can see if they're still out there. Got millions of hits. I don't know how many thousands of dollars those guys got because they can monetize them. Because I just gave them away for free. And yeah, one of them was called "They're Hiding God with the Biggest Lie Ever." One's called "They're Hiding God with the Greatest Lie Ever," and a completely different guy channel. And then a third one, "Under the Dome" full documentary. And that was the one, Under the Dome full documentary. That was the one that D Marble watched. So yeah, weird.
I remember it well. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was off, and I was in my kitchen doing something, and the smartphone was on autoplay. I actually didn't even realize YouTube had autoplay. And I was listening to Ravi Zacharias, and the average Christian apologist that you can listen to. And when I saw that, I was like, what? I'm like, well, they all lie. They tell us that we came from monkeys. And then your clues came up, and I'm like, and every one of your clues hit home.
That's awesome.
And I was like, because, I've flown a lot in the Air Force, so I always was going, why are we going this way? It never made sense. And I was like, it's just like, it's like the old adoption thing. However, I always knew I was adopted. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, most people can't see the forest for the trees. Why would they? You're told, not to steal a line from the Matrix, but it's the world that's been pulled over your eyes to blind you. You don't see it because you're told it's not there, and it's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great plan, and it worked for a long time. And only now are people going, hey, wait a minute. That doesn't look right.
Yeah, I honestly think this COVID thing was honestly brought to help put an end to that, because now we can't go out and talk. We can't talk to anybody. You can't even go to church.
Yeah, but in the process, it became the baby in the bathwater scenario, which is okay. Nobody gets to do anything, and that's the part. I mean, they'll bring the whole thing down if they do that.
Except
I know
Babylon.
Yeah, it sounds a bit arrogant to say that, but at the same time, think of it this way, and I know people are going to say, oh, you're delusional for even bringing this up. Remember back 5 years ago, YouTube used to have search results. Said it was a simple line. It said search results equals a number. And we were just beating the tar out of just about every topic that was out there on YouTube. I mean, just crushing them. And
if I remember right, as soon as we passed Donald Trump, right?
Oh yeah, right after we passed Donald Trump, we were gaining in on Katy Perry and Taylor Swift and people like that, small players. and all of a sudden the scoreboard was taken down. Literally, search results was removed from YouTube. To where you go there now, you can type any topic into YouTube, the search results equals whatever is gone. That line is gone, and it's for all topics. And that's the sort of strategy you're looking at with the virus, which is like, oh yeah, we'll just do it to everybody simultaneously. Now, granted, it's not just us that's causing this. There's a bigger plan involved, but it's very, very similar.
So
again,
here in Northern,
go ahead.
In Northern California, they just did the COVID count for all the counties, and there's about five, 6 counties north of Sacramento.
Yeah.
And every one of them, if I'm not mistaken, all the people who passed away were 70 plus, some were 85, and they said had other underlying conditions.
Yeah.
And that's in the rural area here. And we have one county, Modoc, that was at 0 for the longest time, and now it went to 2 and 4 cases. And speaking of that, isn't it fascinating that they choose the word cases? Because anybody can open a case if you prove it's even a criminal case. Anybody can open one, and if it gets dismissed or pleaded out, well, the case is closed. Nevertheless, you can say it was a case. And so they're not. If you think about it, it's clever how they're saying cases.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember. There was a little video. It was a town council meeting where I think it was the mayor what they were doing was they were not only were the cases being, if you tested positive, and then all they had to do was say, okay, who have you been in contact with, right? Give us 10 people that you've been in contact with. And at that point, those 10 people were immediately
automatically added to the case list.
They were automatically added to the case list. Well, no, and they're saying, well, they're probable. It's like, how can you assume they're probable? It's like, well, because they don't have any other classifications. You either have it or you don't, and there's no in between. And so they lean towards you have it. It's like, okay.
That is why you test all things, and that's why 90% of statistics are wrong, because you have no idea what those parameters were. And if anybody with a thinking, critical mind would look into it, and they don't, and they sidestep and use all kind of non sequiturs, it's just a game. It's just a sec. Honestly, I was white.
The general public doesn't get it. They don't understand statistics, and they don't understand the numbers. And let's face it, 4 out of 3 people don't even understand fractions. That's a rim shot.
Yeah.
There. Anyone?
Yeah.
The jokes. I'll be here all week. 2 drinks.
So just so you know, my little thing last week, I loaded it. It was going to send it to you, and I don't know what happened to it. My little answering machine recording thing. I'm yet to send it to you, and I apologize.
Oh no, send it when you get a chance.
For whatever reason, it wasn't meant to happen. But I did send you my results of my model, and I didn't hear from you. Are you doing email shows anymore? You're not doing them, are you?
I haven't done email shows in a while. No.
No, that's why I'm here to prevent email shows.
There you go.
Okay. I thought maybe that's why COVID happened, so you didn't have to do that anymore.
I'm more interested actually in troll emails than anything else, because I like the creative trolls. I just don't get that many. I get almost no troll calls on the show, and I get almost about the same amount of emails. Hardly anybody. So whatever.
Okay. Well, I still am waiting for somebody with a degree in, because I did take mechanical drawing, and when I did that results, that 8 inches per mile squared is I still say it's a 3D result, and so therefore I think the 8 inches, 2 is the cube of, or 2. I hope I say this right. Forgive me. But 8 is the cube of 2. And when I did it, it turned out to be 2, but it didn't happen until you got about 200 miles out, which is very fascinating. But do you remember getting that attachment that I sent to you?
I think so. But go ahead. I mean,
okay. Well, no, it was just, I don't have the result. I did them, and and double checked them, and I was hoping for someone to check the math for me, make sure I didn't make no mistakes.
Send it again. Send it to me again. I'll take another look.
Okay. Yeah, or send it to someone in FE Core or somebody who's, knows about 3D and all that.
Peanut Gallery wants it, so I will send it to Peanut Gallery. He just asked for it. So.
All right. Because I did this whole experiment for two reasons. One time, Dave and Jaron asked, "Is that 8 inches per mile squared? Is that both sides of the hill or one side?" And they didn't know. And then that little snarky guy said that we were idiots and we didn't know how that algorithm worked. So when he did that, that's what made me do the physical model, so I could, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I do believe it's a 3D answer, and we need to take it down to one dimension. And so instead of 8 inches per mile squared, I think it's 2 inches per mile squared, because there's 3 axes in a globe. Where if you're looking for the curve, that's just one axis that we're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a factor of 4, and if we're wrong, they could use that to make us look like idiots.
I have to disagree with that reasoning. As someone who has worked in 3D programs and who's done models, Peanut, I disagree with that too. Yeah, it is 8 inches per mile squared is not an exact number, but it is close enough. It's actually, if you really want to get technical and do the math, it's actually a little bit more than that. That is just a easy number to make it easy to calculate, and it is close, within any range that we are able to see visually, and it's more than enough to bust the globe. But it is 8 inches per mile squared is actually pretty close.
Well, Karen, I agree with that, but what I'm saying is that's a 3D answer, not a 1D answer. That's all I'm saying. That's, I guess, maybe.
Well, yeah, but you only need two. But you only need 2D to prove it wrong. To draw a diagram of it and show that it's wrong. You really only need 2. Okay. It's azimuth and elevation, depth. You're right.
I think everything. If I could have people in front of me and watch it and explain it with it in front of, I think it'd make more sense. Trying to say it over the phone.
Well, send it to me. I will spread it around, and we'll see if we can come up with something. How's that?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't rocket science.
DB had it more in depth somewhere else.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, peace out. And shout out to Zulu and Patricia, and Doc Martin, and Michelle. They're kind of in my neighborhood. Oh, Jaron and Dave Weiss while we're at it. And I think that's it. So you guys have a good one.
All right. See you, man.
All right.
Bye. All right. Let's grab one more before the final break.
He said Doc Martin. I think he meant Doc Michael.
There we go. Yeah, Doc Martin. Nice. All right, 647, you're up. Somewhere in Canada. What's happening?
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Oh, God, it's you. What? Wait, are you calling on 2 lines?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'm going to, the obligatory line, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Oh, okay. I thought you were the other. I thought you were the other guy from Ontario.
Oh, no. I don't know how many guys from Ontario got calling, but this is my first call.
Oh,
and
welcome.
So anyways, great show, man. I really love the rants, and I've got a rant of my own a little bit. So I live outside of Toronto, maybe 90 minutes outside of the big city.
Yeah.
A cute little town named Collingwood. And everybody's muzzled up, walking around. And I went to the farmer's market last Saturday. I was surprised they were open. And it's an outdoor event, right? And everybody's in a mask except me. Like, what is happening? Guys, please, can you tell me what's happening? like, why is everybody in a mask outside? But on the
Because
parking
the
lot,
world
I
has
don't
gone
want
full retard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, hell, I mean, you've probably seen it. People driving around by themselves in a car and they're masked up. That I'm just stunned. It's like, really, you're the only one in a car. I want to just throw something at them. It's like, but then again, remember, the media is preaching fear. Be afraid. Be afraid. There's people dying. Be afraid. It could be you next. Be afraid. It's going to get worse. Be afraid. And they're not backing off of it. So there's some people that take it's straight up stats, which is you're going to get some people that absolutely do not believe a word of it, but you're going to get some people that completely buy into it. And they're going to, in fact, they will go further than what the media even recommends. I mean, the fact that Fauci was dumb enough to say that we might need goggles soon to go with the masks. I mean, it's like, come on, man.
Are you kidding me?
He was absolutely serious. And I was trying to tell people, I was like, look, you're talking about the same guy who literally said that no human being should ever shake hands or hug ever again. It's like, what?
Well, Mark, this is actually great news because you suggested to buy the paint. What's that? The mask that you wear when you go. What's that? Paint shooting? What the fuck? Paintball.
Oh, paintball shooting. Yeah.
Right, but that package comes with goggles, so it's perfect.
Yeah, you're right. It does come with goggles.
Yeah, it comes with a mesh mask, and with goggles. So you just get yourself that and you're set. Yeah, so anyways, I just wanted to rant a little bit. And by the way, I was the guy, me and my buddy were the ones that did that Dayfare delivery system video that I sent to you. So hope you guys enjoyed
right
that.
on. Oh, that's awesome. That was a great video. I used as you know, I put it up on my channel. It's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks very much, man. We did it just for shits and giggles. And yeah, we have lots of more ideas. As you know, there's plenty of content coming out with some great entrepreneurs creating some bizarre shit nowadays. So
hey, we got 20 seconds or so to the break. You got any shout outs?
Yeah. Just a shout out to everybody listening and to you guys for having a nice show. Keep up the good work. I'm actually a radio guy myself. So yeah, cheers and peace out, guys.
All right, you have a good one. Talk soon. Just like that. Through the magic of radio, we have music. Sounds Russian. I like Russians. He's Russian, yeah?
Real people, real radio. Wherever you are, make it TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. It's you, me, and Karen B. It is a call-in show. We got calls. So let's grab a few, shall we? Let's grab up the other Ontario, Canada one that 905. Are you there? 905.
Hey, Mark, Karen, Peanut.
That's what I thought of.
How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty good. What's happening up there?
So I've got a great COVID joke, but you won't get it.
What?
The credit for that joke goes to Top Hill. He did it in a comment in one of Mark and Dottie's chats, so I just had to share.
Nice.
And I said it to normies, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't get it." It's
yeah,
like,
you have to be a
shaking my
conspiracy
head.
guy to get it. Yeah, definitely.
Well, they all know how I feel, So they should have figured it out. But anyway, yeah.
Anything else going on?
So shout out to Collingwood. That's awesome. Another Ontario caller.
Yeah. I
And,
mean, you guys were literally sitting right next to each other in the call board. That's like, oh crap, and that's why I thought it was you, and so I picked up the first one, but it's slightly different because yours comes in from St. Catharines. That's the that's the location code, and his just came from straight up Ontario.
Huh.
So,
but I'll drop it there, I guess, guys. I did yell at one dumbass riding a bicycle wearing a mask. And he's like, "Take it off, you dumbass!" And he's like, "I forgot I had it on." It's like, are you kidding me?
There you go. That, by the way, that's another thing that I've seen people do, and that goes into the whole laziness thing. Remember, what's the biggest most common human trait? Is it laziness or fear? And I watch people that come out of stores. You could tell, they got out of their car, they put on their mask, but they were too lazy to take off their mask because they were going to run to another errand. So it's like, they don't want to take it off and then put it back on. They rather just drive with it or bike with it or whatever. It's like, oh, it's too easy. These are the same people who be like, yeah, vaccine, fine. I don't care. As long as I remember the rant. I said, as long as I get to go back to my normal life or some semblance of it, I'm taking it. And I was like, all right, it's your ass. So,
all right, guys. I'll get off the line. Shout out to the three of you and Mark, of course, Zulu.
Speaking of Zulu,
and
as I put you on
you twice.
All right, T-Man. As I put you on mute, let's pick up Zulu. 845. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it.
Fucking New York, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. It's ridiculous. Everything is ridiculous. I went into AutoZone today, and the little Nazi face mask bitch got in my face. I was like, really? I'm just curious, is this corporate or is this, well, corporate said it, but, I really just want to make sure that everyone's safe. And I'm like, you are so ridiculous. Just utterly ridiculous. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Nope. Nope, they don't.
It's so frustrating. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask, do this, don't do that. It'll save you, it won't save you. I mean, and like you said, what kind of research do people do? Well, I heard it on Fox News.
Exactly. Everything again for those of you who have not heard my little snippet from a rant I did a while ago, because what you're saying, they're buying into it because everything on the news is absolutely true, and anyone that says that, I go, so there's no fake news or whatever, and here's the questions you ask them. You say, so everything on CNN is absolutely true, and everything on Fox News is absolutely true. Because they both can't be true, can they? Again, right. Because depending on if you're Democrat or Republican. Yeah, and but they who knows what she listened to? In fact, she probably listened to CNN. Most of the people, in fact, the vaccine side of things, most of the people that are on the vaccine side are left right now, and that's all right, man. Don't worry about it. Again, it's the mask thing. Remember what I said? You're going to be wishing for these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before it's over. Before it was,
right,
but it was
when
something
it comes to vaccines. I mean, I don't know. Some people say, "Oh, it'll never happen." Other people say they're going to force it. I don't know. There's a lot of freaking mindless sheeple.
You have to. So many people have gone down the same path that I have, which is they have to because they've gone too far. As you know, they've closed down so many things that whatever the solution is has to be huge, and it has to be as mandatory as possible, because otherwise there's going to be class action lawsuits against the states and the cities and the governors and the political system being utter turmoil, because you cost so many people so much money. That's, companies have shut down and institutions are shutting down. That you can't walk this back. It's affected too many people.
It does seem like some businesses are thriving, certain ones.
Oh, sure.
But for the most part, I guess the people that weren't in the group and the meeting are getting fucked.
I mean, look at Main Street anywhere. I mean, just about every restaurant's in jeopardy. Anywhere where there's people gathering, those are all in everything from bowling alleys to convention centers to for God's sakes, gymnasiums. I mean, I know you got a big thing happening up there in Jersey where big muscle guys are sitting outside the gym going, "Yeah, you try to close us down." Which
they're like, "Try and shut me down. You gotta shoot me." And he's like a veteran, I mean, he went and served for our country, even though, yes, we may all agree that is bullshit, but he did what he was supposed to do. He did his job, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to treat him like that too? And just be like, well, piece of shit, we don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, you send these guys out there to be cannon fodder and you can't give them anything. It's just, everything is just...
Hey, Zulu?
Go ahead. Yes,
Peanut Gallery has a quote for you. The quote is, "How many unmasked people does it take to plug a show?"
Only one, and that would be me. Saturday night school with Brian Burton, Master Gunner, and Shona Collins, who has returned. Awesome. Yes, Saturday night. I guess it might have... That's funny. That is some funny crap. Holy crap. That's great. That's good. I'll give my shout outs now then.
Okay.
Shout out to Dottie's World, Karen B, Mark Sargent, Glowbusters, Bob and Cammy, Nathaniel. Happy birthday, my man. You'll always be a kid at heart. I love you, brother. Shauna, William. My God, who else? Oh, that 970 guy. Was it Jerry? Terry? I'm not sure. Free Flow, William. Oh my God, there's too many people. Ron, everybody. Holy shit, there's so many. I love you guys. And I do have a quote for you.
Zulu, he is full of love.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just so many cool people. I mean, there's a couple assholes, but there's a lot of cool people. Can't get around it, I mean, unfortunately, there's always a small percentage in every group. Doesn't matter if they're nuns or freaking school teachers or Boy Scouts. There's always 10% of just assholes. Oh,
was your opening?
Where did the coins go? Where did the coins go? What's going on? Sorry,
that appears
that pissed me off too.
Yeah, that appears to be a secondary thing.
It's a scam, right? Like you said, digital. They want everything digital.
Yeah, they're going for broke. Because I thought really you're gonna try to do a 2-for-1 with the coins. That's amazing because it's everywhere. Literally, you're paying with exact change, and banks are they've got signs in the drive-up windows of banks saying, "Look, we will take coins." I mean, it's bad when Taco Bell will give you free food if you pay with coins. They don't like to do that. So if you have a coin,
definitely, they definitely want that digital thing for sure.
Yep, they're going for broke.
This guy, he has a channel that he works on diesel trucks, tuning them, lifting them, redneck stuff, and I love that shit.
Yeah.
Well, he got a visit from Homeland Security and the local PD because he bought a shitload of freaking oil filters. And he's like, "What the fuck is your problem?" And apparently, I didn't even know this, but they suspect people are buying oil filters to make suppressors. And I'm like, how is that even going to work? I mean...
Oh, wow. You know what?
Effective enough.
I have heard of people doing that. I didn't think people actually tried to do that, though. I saw that, but I didn't think people actually tried to do that.
You know what? Not that we should talk about it on this show, but you could do it.
We're not doing anything.
You could do it.
Maybe.
You could pull it off. I mean, it takes some.
trying to. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the point I'm trying to make is they're definitely paying attention to shit, and everything is definitely being based in that virtual world. So I could totally see them going for this funds being virtual and never having, cash, never knowing what people are doing, always being able to collect tax on every sale. It's just fucking brutal.
Well, not just that, but and you're saying, well, that's a good thing, right? The cashless society is by far more efficient than anything else. However, the dark side of that is if you don't play ball, if something happens, they can turn, right now, if they turn off your credit cards, you still got cash. But if they turned off your credit cards and you didn't, and cash wasn't a thing, what do you do? You're stuck. And conspiracy people have been saying that for years, which is, they've got you at that point. You're at the whim of whoever. They decide to pull the plug on you. And the flip side is, well, organized crime would have a tough time. They're not going to start using the square.
Out of way.
Not as easy.
I'm sure there's a way to digitally transfer funds.
Yeah, but if you're Joe Junkie looking for your next rock,
how does that happen?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Oh, Peanut Gallery wants me to go to the next caller. Sorry.
All right. I'll shut the fuck up. All right, my quote. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. That's Buddha. And I'm just saying that because, people got to do shit. Say something to people because this is ridiculous. They're going to roll the fuck over and take us with them.
We'll see.
This is utterly ridiculous.
Hey, man, don't worry. You're not alone. We'll be there with you all the way to the bitter
and the jokes aren't too soon because that 6-year-old dying of COVID is just as bad as the fucking biker death. So it's not.
Yeah, it is.
To make jokes. Beirut, I'm sure all 70 of those people died of COVID explosion.
They did, and there's 3,000 new cases. Guaranteed, and that number is going to go up tomorrow. It'll be 4,000 tomorrow.
Ridiculous.
All right, man.
All right, love you guys. Bye. Love you guys.
See ya.
Thanks,
Bye. All right, let's go hometown 360 right up here near Seattle. What's happening?
On the other side of Deception Pass. You had me at free food from Taco Bell.
I know.
I've got a lot of coins.
Yeah, we'll call them up or make sure you look for a sign in the window because what I understand it's a thing. Them and Chick-fil-A. I don't think McDonald's will do it, but how cool would that be? So what they do, what I read was you pay for your meal. So like say it's a $15 meal, you pay for it in coin, and they give you a gift certificate for $15. Basically, it's a money transfer thing to where it's like you get your meal basically for free.
Wow. You won't live as long after you eat it, but you'll have more money.
No, yeah, I'm saying, not saying it's
Don't get me wrong. I've been in the drive-thru at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
There's a legal presumption that you're high as a kite if you're in the drive-thru at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that Chick-fil-A did it. We don't have those around here, Karen.
What, Chick-fil-A's?
Do we? I don't think we do. I think you got to go as far south as California to get to one.
I don't think there's one up in Oak Harbor. But yeah, it's a great incentive actually for people to dig out their change.
Yes. I interviewed a couple of young ladies that were at the local place putting their money in the Coinstar machine, where they take 12% for your graciousness and giving them coins. And I said, did you know that there's a coin shortage, by the way? Because they had a whole grocery full of containers of coins. And he turned around and there's a what? I go, yeah, you should be getting a premium on that. I would negotiate with Coinstar for that.
Yeah. Whatever you're doing right now, don't turn your coins into Coinstar. You lose, 9% right off the top? So
it's up to 12.
Oh, my God.
Jeez.
And Coinstar doesn't put that back in the community. They take it straight to, their regional office. And I'm pretty sure those coins are gone. They don't go back into local circulation. So anyway, my answer to it right now is for anyone out there that is sick of people saying, do you have exact change? Just carry 99 cents in your pocket. That means, yes, you do have to carry 4 pennies, and you've heard of how much I hate pennies. But carry 99 cents in your pocket. You will always have exact change. So,
yes. Well, I've been
anything
corrected. Ted Summer just said on the chat that there's a Chick-fil-A in Bellevue, Washington, which I didn't know you could have a Chick-fil-A in Bellevue. I thought there always had to be a 4 or 5 star restaurant to even be in Bellevue. Last time I went there,
yeah, I was about to say Bellevue.
piece of junk billiards bar, and I got pulled over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to pass through there in a pickup truck. It's probable cause.
For those of you who don't know, Bellevue is a more upscale area of Seattle, but it's not like it used to be, from what I understand. There's some parts of Seattle that are nice. I don't think all of Bellevue is considered an exclusive zone, but then again, I haven't been there in a while. And Peanut says more upscale than Capitol Hill and Chop. It's not Chop anymore. It's Chaz, right? I think it's Chaz. Whatever.
I thought it always was.
Oh, because that sounds more like French.
Yeah, well, it was Chop first, and I think they thought it sounded too aggressive, like they were beheading people, so they changed it to Chaz. Right.
Yes.
Whatever. They haven't. They've been.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't want to change the story that much. What are you going to say about Chop finally?
Oh no! Forget about Chop. Only that I'm glad that Chop's gone. Period. So, any shout outs? Peanut wants me to take one more call before we wrap up the show.
Okay. No, I just wanted to let you know to follow the story of the Snohomish barber who is also a Marine veteran and had the daughter with a brain tumor, and 2 Marine veterans working for him, and maybe it was Army, but hey, who's counting except for the Marines? But and just wanted to let you know, he supposedly has a big lawsuit going, which is what I was looking for, because he's got a $90,000 fine from Governor Dimsley for staying open during the virus to support his daughter with a brain tumor.
Ugh.
So I'll be on the lookout for that. I'll send you guys a link if it pops up on my radar. But he was interviewed on the radio yesterday.
Okay.
But my shout out to all y'all that are fighting this, battle, because it's uphill battle right now with this shaming that goes on. I got shamed in the store today, and I let them know what I thought of the governor. But I want to have peace, but I also don't want us to surrender our rights, which are God-given.
Yep.
And that does not have a basis in, state law. It's something we all are born with. You know that.
Got it.
That's my speech. Thanks.
All right. Have a good one.
Yeah. Shout out to the fighting. Yeah. Thanks again. You guys take care.
Okay.
And Peanut Gallery too.
Okay.
A lot.
Who will the last call be? What do you think, Karen? Should we grab Master Gunner Brian Burton?
Why not?
Why not? Where is Master Gunner? Is he around? Do I see him? Is he even listening right now? If I think real hard and chant his name, maybe just a general chant. Arubaka. Master Gunner, are you there?
That's not the way it goes. That's not the way it goes.
What's happening, man?
Oh, not much. What's going on with you all?
Oh, little, month 7 of what I am curious they will write about us in the future.
I heard there was a virus going around.
Yeah, those movies where it's like, what happened here, and you pick up a newspaper and there's like these huge headlines. I'm wondering what that headline will be, what the last newspaper headline will be, before, the whole thing just goes away.
What makes you think it's going to go away? I'm not so sure it's going to go away now.
Really? You got
Yeah.
second thoughts, even after the really? Why would you have second thoughts? Just because you're in a better mood?
Well, it's been 7 months, you say?
7 months. Yeah.
7 months.
Yeah, but remember that they're kind of in coasting mode right now because they're trying to pace it for November 3rd, election day. They've got to. At this point, they're in not the home stretch, but they'll make it at this stage. They've got the momentum. They will make it to November 3rd.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when that election happens, all hell is going to break loose. No matter who wins, but I still think Trump will win
because there'll be more hell.
because it'll create more hell.
Yeah.
I mean, if the left actually won, then they'd have to go, oh, shit, now we got to do what they said, or Trump's the bad guy for them right now.
Right.
So,
Trump. Well, yeah, orange man bad.
Orange man bad.
That's the T-shirt. Yeah.
But even then, and I said this way back in March, everything will be fine when they get the virus. They still not going to have a virus until 2021.
Vaccine, you mean?
Vaccine, yeah. Or virus. However you want to look at it.
But the way they're pacing it out, they're saying that they will have. I mean, we've got 2 or 3 companies that already claim that they're in stage 3 trials. Taking volunteers.
But I'll make this quick. I know we're running out of time. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're going on that year mark. What happens every year with the flu? Supposedly.
Oh, right.
We got the vaccine and it mutated to a new strain.
I know there's a secondary road theory, which is okay. Then you push something a little more hardcore.
The only problem I have is all the other stuff they're setting up just in case. Neurological garbage, heart problems.
Oh yeah. All
those articles.
Right. That it causes that long-term effects or heart, severe heart strain and neurological disorders.
I'm not sure it's even going to be the COVID crap because I think it's going to be something along the lines of, the economy is going to tank, or I'm not saying it is, but they're going to. The cause of the COVID caused the economy or jobs or the digital currency, and it's racist to make people get a card to register for a bank card. I don't know. Who the hell knows?
Right. Yeah. Yep. I hear you. Hey, let's do this because I forgot to do it earlier. Karen, what are you doing next? Plug it. Go.
This Thursday, I'll be Unveiling This Realm with Brian Stavely. I think it's on my channel. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Go back and forth. Pretty sure it's my channel.
Okay. Is that it?
For now, yes.
You're not doing a new Bitches Brew anytime soon?
Bitches Brew. Yeah, we are going to do a Bitches Brew on the 9th.
I was about to say, that's in 5 days.
Yeah.
She doesn't sound too sure.
Thank you for reminding me. Listen.
No worries.
I have a lot going on.
I know you do.
Her teddy bear's back.
I know. She has best boyfriend ever, and Bob and Cammy are there. Yeah. Life's just great in the woods and carrying land, and wonderful. All right. With that, we're going to tie a bow on this, and we're going to be here next week. Same flat time, same flat channel. Try, to keep your spirits up no matter what's happening, because again, there's more fun to come. Don't just think that, don't let the mask get you down. Because as far as I know, it's not called the Mask of the Beast. No. It's called something else. Music hasn't kicked in yet, but it's going to. So let's get a good sound bite before then. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Master Gunner.
Die.
And remember, more cases in Beirut. Stay tuned.
Yes, more COVID cases in Beirut.
Exactly. Bet they're not having hot sex. Not today.
No hot sex for you.
Hot sex. Good night, everybody.